Our zone 3 is coming to an end, and now we're getting ready to enter zone 4 and finally finish this season. So, in today's video, we're going to be going over the insanity that has been this zone, the fights that went all over, and joining me today will be a very special guest, so you don't want to miss it. What is up, guys? Meower here, back with a brand new Call of Dragons video. So our zone is coming to an end, and with it starts the road to the dragon and the road to finishing this season. But before we start that road, I think it's important to recap what happened in this zone. So before we get started and before we introduce our guest, be sure to drop the like and don't forget to subscribe. And let's dive in to the insanity that has been this zone, and with me today will be my R4 and war lead, Piss. Piss, feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi guys, Piss here. I'm one of the, as Meow said, one of the war leads, and I'm looking forward to giving a recap on this very unique war that's just taken place.
Yes, sir. Bro, this zone has been absolutely wild. It's been all over the place. Us going to rescue out TFS in a race against EIS to bail out BXS. Insanity, insanity, insanity. So I'm looking at your stream right now, and let's get to it, shall we?
Cool, yeah. So the way that I would really like to summarize this war is I'd split it into three different phases. You got phase one, which was what I would call the long march, where we started at this gate and we walked all the way
That
to.
was the worst experience ever, bro. I hated
Yeah.
that so much.
Yeah, we had 1 hour marches. It was rough, and it's hard on the alliance because you have to stay focused, and it's you lose focus, then anything can happen, and you
Props to
might miss things.
BXS. BXS was also like consistently TPing on us, multiple people picking up our
Yeah,
stragglers, because it was pretty much, I think, a 1.5 hour march from the start of the zone to all the way to the pass, trying to help out TFS.
yeah, they were always ready. They were always alert.
Mhm.
TFS, EIS, the exact same story on the other side. EIS doing the same thing as us. TFS having to defend. It was a mirror matchup, really.
Pretty much was a race of who can rescue their allies first, or sorry, our napped allies first. But anyway, moving on. Zoom in a little bit. Let's go over like how things were going and everything. So
Okay.
basically, what happened is that we started by taking this pass. We fast built. BXS had a really like solid plan to block the Spire. I think was it the Spire or the next? It was the next. It was the
So
Spire. Yeah.
yeah, it was the Spire. So what happened is that the Spire's only a few towers away. We got there pretty quickly at the start of the zone.
Mm-hmm.
BXS set up 2 rows of cities in front of the Spire, which is a trick that a few alliances have used in the past. In fact, it was a few seasons ago when BXS and Owl were against NK, and NK used that on them, and it actually worked really well. BXS couldn't stop NK from entering the final zone.
Mm-hmm.
So they tried it against us, and we saw them set this up a few days before the zone, and we knew that we could break it. So we straight built. With the home kingdom update that came a little while ago, there's a buff
The
that lets you
banish.
the banish skill exactly.
Yeah, the
So we
banish.
knew
I
that
think
when
the
we arrived.
banish. Without it, we would not have been able to pretty much do anything about it.
Who knows? Yeah, it would have been difficult for sure. There's some things that might have been outside of our control. But I think the important part is that BXS and EIS really didn't expect us to break through at all. They thought that our towers would stop here, and in reality, it didn't slow us down at all. We just continued straight away. So I think that might have caught them off guard a little bit.
True. It definitely caught me off guard because I did not know that skill even existed. I didn't even know it worked in KVK.
Yeah, I don't think many people did. I don't think anyone had really used it before.
Oh, banishment and exile. Okay, so there's 2 of them. Okay, I get it. Alright. So then afterwards, after we broke past this, we kept long marching all the way to the pass. It was like an hour marching, and then like 30 minutes of ghosts running back, and then it
Exactly.
was grilling,
Yeah,
bro. It was grilling.
we never stopped doing it.
Hmm.
The minute we were back, we were setting up for the next push, and we did that all the way until we reached around here when the pass was finally won by TFS.
Yep.
Yeah,
It was annoying. It was very annoying. And
yeah,
afterwards, I think that once we started making some progress, I think that's when we started entering phase two of this zone. You would say, or when would you call it
yeah,
phase two?
yeah. There were a couple of key things that happened with around the pass where the
Hmm.
majority of the fighting was. TFS had the pass for the first 12 hours, and then BXS took it back after a couple of really good plays from EIS. So they used the behemoth glitch where you can send the behemoth anywhere in the zone, and they were using the TP staff on it,
Hmm.
and they used that right in front of the gate to stop TFS from reinforcing the
That was
path.
such a good play by EIS. Not gonna lie. I
Yeah,
mean,
it happened a lot.
to be fair, the staff rework is probably one of the best things that has happened to this game. It's opened up the door to so many new strategies, and so many players are starting to use it properly that it's just so much fun. It is a bit annoying with the behemoth and everything, because you can't really, can't really counter it as well as you should be able to. But it was amazing. It's a spectacular to watch.
Yeah,
Truly a
yeah,
spectacle.
exactly. And with the with the models of our alliances set up so differently, with EIS
Hmm.
having two full fighting alliances, they have a lot more members to use that with.
Hmm.
So it seemed, I think at some points it seemed like they always had it off cooldown, but really they just had so many people who could use it.
Hmm.
Whereas with Noir, we're like 100, 207 people. It's you can't use it all the time because of the cooldown.
Hmm.
So it really brought some interesting dynamics to the war.
True, true, true. And afterwards, bro, the non-stop rally tug of war for the pass
Yeah,
between
yeah.
TFS and VXS.
The pass changed hands a lot of times, just
Hmm.
because EIS were coming to block TFS, then we were coming to block BXS, and it constantly changed. Felt like every hour it felt like it changed on the second day.
Hmm. For sure, it was just a complete tug of war. We would bail out BXS by, we would bail out TFS by blocking BXS's reinforcements, and then EIS would bail out TFS all the way till we were just pretty much done building to either side. It was just a race on who could get to the other
Exactly,
first.
exactly,
Like,
exactly, and also who could hurt the other one for more by the time we got there as
mhm,
well. Um, because of the situation with TFS being here and BXS being here, they're constantly getting marched on, and they're constantly getting drained. So it
mhm.
was just a race to see who could zero who first by the time Noir and EIS arrived.
Pretty much, pretty much. But it was fun. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah,
Afterwards, bro, the actual fireworks started happening.
phase two, phase two, squeaky bum time is what
Yeah.
I call it. Squeaky bum. It's when it got tense. I think there was a moment where it looked like anything could happen. I mean, both TFS and BXS were hurting really bad. TFS had stamina issues as well, and it was just looking like it could have gone either way.
Hmm.
But eventually, we had a really good push that we timed with EIS's push. So
Hmm.
the situation is that BXS were able to take some of these towers that were just in front of the pass,
Hmm.
and they were just starting to build out. And we noticed that in this last push, if they made it through, then we can't do anything, and we don't know when we'll be able to fight BXS again if they can't get cleared out.
Hmm.
So we pushed BXS and marched and swarmed their rallies when the pass was around 25% health, maybe.
Oh, I think I was
And
sleeping then.
yeah, it was super close. Like if they got that pass back, I think that
Oh,
maybe we could have seen a different situation. But it looked tense.
sounded like a butt clencher.
Yeah, but then once we swarmed those rallies, it was all over, and TFS were able to set up in this zone and
Hmm.
effectively win the battle.
Whew. Sounds intense, bro. Sounds intense.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
believe I
yeah.
missed that.
Oh, it was good. It was rewarding. It was satisfying because
Hmm.
when you're walking 1 hour all day every day, uh, it's satisfying to see that work pay off, and it was really tense.
100%, 100%. Then afterwards, when we started to come close to the pass, in EIS we're getting closer and closer to you know, to TFS
Yes,
territory as well. I was like, are we gonna hit the pass first? Is TFS gonna fall to EIS first? Like, what's going on here?
yeah,
I think I was off for that time, like the moment we started taking the pass. I'm surprised.
yeah. So the situation was is that so when TFS finally came through and in that final push,
Hmm.
our towers were around here, so still a little bit of distance away. EIS had set up just about
I think it was next to
2
the
flags
bridge,
here.
the
Yeah, it
bridge
was
in the
close
top
to
left,
here.
right there. Yeah,
Yeah, they were super close. So they had a much shorter refresh as well because their zone is shorter.
yeah. Hmm.
So it was they were able to march to TFS a lot more. So that's why it was so close. And then we just kept building. We just kept building all the way to the pass,
Hmm.
even though the TFS won. And that's when the phase 3 started. My favorite phase.
The absolute cluster of what was going on.
The chaos. Yeah, the chaos of.
It was so chaotic, but it was
Yeah,
so fun as well.
yeah, it was. It
I
was
think we're
really fun.
fighting on two fronts. We were holding back BXS from trying to crawl back from the
Exactly,
south.
exactly. Yeah. So the situation was, for context, EIS had a fort right here,
Hmm.
and they have territory, going all the way to their zone 3 and all the way to their zone 1.
Hmm.
And we noticed that when EIS dropped their fort here,
Hmm.
we knew they were really low on resources. I think maybe just one tower later, they were only building every few hours, so they were super close to their resources, and we decided to go for a surprise cut. So if I can find it here.
I think that cut was the reason why they even dropped the fort to begin with.
No. So we saw that. So we were just about 5 seconds away from doing a TP staff play
Hmm.
onto the gate, and we noticed they dropped the fort, and we instantly said, "Okay, everyone, go home. We're gonna move to the other shell." And
Hmm.
then we, went straight up and cut them. So their towers from here to here were cut.
Hmm.
And EIS were off territory for about half an hour, but I don't think TFS could capitalize too much on the in terms of rallying
They
cities.
were
There was a lot of
battered.
EIS activity. Yeah. Um, and then at that point, EIS was, fully committed. They had no way to go back.
Hmm.
They couldn't afford another fort. They had to just keep building. And then, yeah, that's when things started to get really crazy.
And by then, after they managed to stabilize, we started, catching up on our end. Started put down
Yeah.
BXS, whatever was
Yeah.
remaining from BXS. And then I think that's when we started touching the pass. Or when did we
Uh,
start touching the pass?
yeah. So we touched the pass at 16:30 UTC yesterday,
Hmm.
and we fully expected EIS to stop building. We thought that TFS had a fort inside this zone over here. It's not there now, which I'll explain in a minute. But
Hmm.
they had the fort inside. They were fully settled inside. We thought EIS would stop, but they went for like a risky play. So they kept building down and tried to go for the cut over
Hmm.
here. And that's when we really, decided to capitalize on what we thought was their mistake,
Hmm.
because they were really vulnerable with their only fort being so close to us. BXS at the same time, they were hitting us from behind. They dropped a bastion over here, and
Yeah.
that's why the TFS fort is now missing. So it was crazy. This
Ooh.
was all happening during the war. Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, so we took the pass. The ultimate objective was to obviously remove the EIS fort.
Hmm.
Um, if we succeeded, which we did, then as you can see, the closest active territory that they have is here, just outside their zone 1. So they've been sent back a very long way. But we have to commend EIS because they put up a really good fight and made it
Well,
a great fight, a
in
great
my
war.
opinion, to be honest, after yesterday's performance and how everything went down, EIS was the most impressive in my opinion. Like after when all was said and done, EIS was the most impressive alliance in the server by performance. And that's just purely my opinion from a neutral perspective about
Yeah,
how
no,
they were
I
holding
understand.
us. They were
Yeah,
holding TFS. Like they were everywhere.
yeah, I understand why people would think that, and I think that some part of it is definitely true. I mean, they were impressive for sure. I think that they made some mistakes in terms of the planning side. So the territory being cut up here was a big, what was
That
it?
was a
Sorry,
big
a big
fumble.
factor,
That was a big fumble.
and also the decision to go for the risky play to overcommit to try and get these towers. I think when you have no resources, I think was really risky, especially because they knew we were coming as well. So
Mhm.
I think that in this game, it's not just about war; it's about planning. It's about the intelligence and the decisions you make. And I think
Definitely.
that you need the full package really to be the top alliance in the game.
Also, a certain sexual chocolate was helping them out. The R5
Mhm.
of EDS. The R5 of EDS was also helping out EIS, bro.
Oh,
If
really? Oh, I
for
didn't know that.
for people that don't or aren't aware, I had an interview recently with the R5 of EDS, known as Pradat. He's a really smart player.
No, I wasn't aware of that.
Mhm.
We were all just so locked into war, and to be honest, tired. We were all tired from
It was
non-stop
grilling, bro.
pushing. That yeah,
It was a
yeah,
grill. But eventually, it always boils up to the same thing. Ends up being a war of attrition.
exactly,
Who can
exactly.
drain the other?
Yeah, I think by the time we reached the Spire over
Hmm.
here, when BXS still had some territory left, or let's say by the time we reached the ramp, I think BXS were down to around 13.1, 13 billion. So they were super low, and TFS around 13.4 billion as well. So also really low.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's pretty much like the zone was fun. The fighting was a blast. Like I had a lot of fun, to be honest. Um,
Yeah,
Part of me wishes it lasted more. Part of me wishes it did. Part of me is happy that it finally ended. It's fun. Like
I
it's
think
why we play this game, to be honest.
yeah, with this sort of war, it's always going to end with someone being sandwiched and just removed.
Hmm.
Um, I think once that happens, then it really is a pure 2v1, and it's going to be hard for it to last
True.
long when you're in close quarters. The reason why it dragged on as long as it did, I think, was because of just the
The
insane march
distance.
times. But yeah,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. And credit to both TFS and BXS. They both used
They held
their
their
other
own.
shells to build. Yeah, but they also built to the other
Hmm.
pass and both of us down, and that really dragged it out for both sides. Um, but yeah, it was uh,
I
it was a
personally,
difficult march and a difficult.
I definitely think TFS could have slowed down EIS way more had they like built or planned a little bit better on their building. Because some of the forts they had were just pointless. I was like, okay, what exactly does this fort serve? Because AS managed to like build past them on multiple occasions and skip past all the way from the spire and just skip past the Hydra section and build from the south. And that's how like they pretty
Yeah,
much managed to fast track through the zone. Meanwhile, we had layers upon layers upon layers of the excess flags to burn through. It was just crazy annoying and crazy grilling. It was an exhausting
yeah,
process,
yeah.
mentally exhausting at
I
least.
think I think that so. Another thing as well is that the territory of the map plays a big factor. As
Hmm.
you can see, there's quite a lot of open space, and it's kind of easy to go around the towers. So initially, at the start of the zone, we were past the spire,
Hmm.
we were past uh,
Bit up,
this
yeah,
spire,
yeah,
and EIS didn't even build a single tower in the zone,
yep.
and that's just because of the way that the territory works. So
Hmm.
I think that it's very dependent on the situation. They are two very different zones to build
True,
through.
true,
On our
true.
side, a lot of choke points and plateaus that we had to get through.
Choke point gaming, baby. Choke point gaming.
Yeah, yeah,
But all in all, I'm big props for like everyone involved. Big props for BXS. They definitely showed up as well, especially after what happened to them in Zone 2. I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect them to show up this hard, but they did. So
Yeah,
big props to them. Big props to
yeah.
TFS, and
They showed
definitely like amazing props to EIS, and of course
they showed
huge props to Noir.
oh, of course. I think BXS showed a lot of resilience.
Hmm.
Like you said, after Zone 2, I think it was over within about 5 to 8 hours. I think we started seeing people TP out after 5 hours. So we weren't sure, or we didn't expect them to hold up for this long. They resource healed a lot. They didn't give up. They stayed till the end. Even after they lost their fort, they were working with the EIS to try and make a comeback and try and break the solidified position. So they made some plays. They stuck around, and I think that you can't really ask for more from opponents.
Well, I think, well, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Like, honestly, I'm happy. I'm excited for the final zone as well. Like, I think we still got a long way to go in this
We
zone
do,
as
we
well,
do.
because we're still gonna have to fight TFS for the dragon eventually, and I'm looking
Yep.
forward for that as well. I'm looking to clap some Jason cheeks. Gotta clap my boy Jason and my boy
Yeah.
Circo. They are my old alliance mates after all, since I was in TFS before I moved here
Oh,
with
yeah,
my
that's
group.
right. That's right. Yeah.
But all
I
in
think
all,
there's still going to be some interesting factors. I think. I
yep,
mean, currently you can see BXS is still touching the gate. EIS. I'm not convinced we've seen the last of them. So it could be interesting.
for sure, for sure. All right, well, I think that's pretty much everything for this recap. Like, all in all, I'm pretty satisfied with how things went. I definitely could have played better. Of course, I'm always playing so badly for some reason. I think I'm watched, but yeah, I'm definitely washed.
Oh.
That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna had a big sleep last night for the first time in a few days.
But yeah, okay. Well, I think that's pretty much everything for the recap for this zone. Of course, guys, if you like content like this, please be sure to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I will update you guys on how the season is going because, as far as I'm aware, there's some big juicy drama going on right now. But I can go into depth on that into another video. But for now, Piss, thank you so much for being here and helping with this video. It's an honor to have you here. But before we
Oh,
wrap things up, guys, please be sure to drop the like and don't forget to subscribe. Join the Discord. The link is in the description. This it is custom for any guest on the channel, whoever it is, to sign us off at the end with a meow meow. So please, if you may,
oh, I've been ready. I was actually practicing in front of my mirror for the last few hours, so
as you should.
I've got it down. Meow meow.
Damn, that was good. If you enjoyed this video, click here to watch the next video. Oh, meow meow meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow meow meow. Meow 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 meow.